There we go. It's probably mine.
Okay, so now we're officially recording. I'm going to speak that one more time just briefly. We're going to work with clear topaz in the meditation. This is support for bringing in the energetics of like truly all the layers of what's needed for our vibrancy, for our wellness, for our holistic, like whole light love beingness. And so that's just like bringing in support and clarity for us around that in the restoration aspect of the meditation. And then we're going to work with this geometry, the snub dodecahedron. And just as a reminder, the geometry is not a visualization. So this is not like for you to memorize and figure out how to like make that happen. This is simply for you to kind of have a sense of what the word means when we say snub dodecahedron. You can see these pentagonal shapes, the purple ones, and then these triangular shapes that make up this geometry. And so we've got the energy of 3 and the energy of 5, and therefore the energy of 8. 5 is divine feminine, 3 is divine masculine, 8 is sacred union. So we've got these energetics. We're going to bring this into the belly in the meditation, into the solar plexus. And the flame that we're going to bring is the flame of ultimate security and safety, which is this beautiful kind of shimmering hot pink and gold light. And it's really about reminding you that your true safety is in the sacred remembrance that all things are happening for you, for your greatest unfolding. And that when we remember that, we enter into a divine protection because we start to amplify the divine potential of whatever is there for us. We start to engage with the sacred in a new way. This is about really soothing those deep, deep, deep neurological places where terror still reigns in our biospiritual systems and bringing balance and harmony there. Is there anything you want to say about that, Nance, before we go in? So let's enter in together. Just feel for a moment this sacred circle of mystical women. We are here together, some in the ethers and some live, but we are together in a conscious and intentional way. Bring your breath online more fully, feeling how this body wants to breathe. Giving that generously to yourself. As you connect with the breath, you can feel yourself being called more fully into this present moment. Coming into the sacred and eternal now. Coming into flesh and bone and blood and sinew, organs and molecules, flows and centers of energy. Feeling the pelvic floor and especially the tailbone opening. And the breath reaching down into the belly of the earth. this beautiful stream of light flowing from the pelvic floor and especially the tailbone, plugging you into your perfect place of connection with our beloved earth. And you'll feel that plug in like a link up. And you allow your body and her body to harmonize more fully with one another. Feeling, sensing, receiving the sacred support of this planet of beauty we have the privilege to live and breathe upon. And you feel how this softens and opens your heart just naturally. And you find yourself burrowing into the very center of the center of your heart. The place where the sweetness of the pure innocence of your love and light lives in its vibrant aliveness. When you feel that, it's just like this exceptionally exquisite place. And when you plug in there, it like spontaneously beams you into greater sacred connection. It's tangible. And there's a sense of being lifted into the higher realms. Your light body alive and beginning to merge and connect more fully with your physical. As this happens, there's a washing away of tension, and the body moves into a state of exquisite, sacred stillness. In this place, this sacred stillness that's like a light chamber, the chamber of light of the pureness of your heart and the fullness of your Christed light body self. And in this union, there's a space of deep, deep recharging and refueling. It's like the mana for your soul and light body and physical body. And you open into the deep receptivity of this sacred space that you have unfolded, that we have unfolded together. And you feel it, you can feel that all your sisters are here in this chamber of light, refueling, recharging, being reinvigorated And the sacred remembrance, I am that, I am that, I am. Giving permission for the full resting into. And you may feel as you rest in a little something that's not quite resonant in the belly. There may be a little awareness of some fear or stress. And you may not notice it, but you may. And we're going to bring to the body in this place of deep rest some sacred support for that space. And so we call forth the flame of ultimate security and safety. The shimmering metallic gold and hot pink light, it looks like glitter, to form a snub dodecahedron for each of us that will come right into the solar plexus. It'll be about the size of a soccer ball, large geometry. And as that snub dodecahedron comes into form for each of us, it will begin to spin and move there in that belly, rebalancing and reharmonizing, activating and aligning. In the ways that serve each one of us and our unique system. And as you allow that and you have a little awareness on that, you bring your awareness back to that sacred chamber of light, the sacred field of remembrance. And you allow all the layers of ministration, the fullness of your light body, the innocence of your heart, the wisdom of the clear topaz that's with you, and the sacred support of the snub dodecahedron, and the sacred holding of this field of mystical women, your sisters. Keep resting here. Keep allowing. And as you're resting here in the deep receiving, let yourself receive the song, the sacred remembrance of our time together.
Things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light, I am light. I am light, I am light. I'm not the mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that caused me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream that I left behind. I am light. 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 I am not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my race. My soul inside is all light. All light. All light. Yeah. All light. I am light, I am light. I am light, I am light. Yeah. I am divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am light.
As you're starting to come back, Mm. Mm. Let's just have like a quick couple of words. What do we notice right now? And then we'll go into our deeper check-in. Like what's here? What do you feel? What is your energy body showing, saying? Mm. And just unmute if you want.
I
Yeah.
just felt like from here to here, just like stagnant something.
Mm. 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 Something's wanting to be more alive through here. And there's something sort of stagnated in the throat center. Mhm.
Tenderness. Mhm.
Mhm. Mhm.
I have to say, meditating with such powerful women, like I could feel the energy and the expansion on top of my head. It was just like, whoa. And I know it's because of this combined energy. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, like my whole
beautiful.
body is tingling. Like just like it's like just sparks and sparkles, like just like yeah.
Sparks and sparkles. I love it. Yeah, you can all
Mhm.
just unmute. I mean, you can stay unmuted if you want, unless you have noise in the background. Otherwise, we're sort of shifting into a time where we're talking more. So feel free to just be on mute. Yeah.
Mm.
I could really feel the wave of the fear body come up and the soothing of that as we called in the snubdodecahedron. I could really feel that ministering in the field. It was like, oh, what else? Anything else want to be named about this before we
I
finish?
was just aware of was a kind of a scramble for me to get here, and just kind of like that frenetic energy and a lot of thoughts, and then just kind of like a settling and a sifting. Those are the two words: settling and sifting to a very deeply settled state.
Yeah, that deep settling. This is like we become one nervous system.
Mm.
And in that way, we minister to one another in that capacity to sort of like ground and settle together. Yeah. Mhm.
I felt everyone's presence in here with me meditating, like we were doing a circle right here in this room. It was beautiful.
We were.
Mhm.
Mm,
Mhm.
mm,
We're gonna make space. Would love to hear like what's been happening. And I'm going to put these two questions that Nancy and I once crafted in the chat. You don't have to answer them, they're just a prompt. But we'd love to just like open into a little bit bigger check-in, like where are you specifically, like where have you been feeling the calling or the desire to bring yourself, your light sort of more forward? Where has that been showing up? And where, if at all, where has fear been showing up in relationship to that, or just in general? So I'm going to post these two questions. You can just kind of let yourself notice them, feel into that. Feel into, also there may just be something you want to share about what's been happening for you as we're all together here. And so you don't have to stick to those questions, but I'd love to make space to hear from everyone who's here a little bit. Have your voice and your energy in the field together.
I know that a lot of changes have happened since the retreat, during the retreat, and since. And this is a moment to check in and see how you are doing after the retreat. What has shifted for you? What has changed? What has elevated? What fears have come up? Anything that you noticed, so we can support you in this circle.
Yeah. And our witnessing of one another facilitates our own awareness of where things are shifted for us, where we are in a new or different place. I was sharing with Nancy that there's been this really beautiful thing developing for me with my husband. It began, I've been really in a super tender place since I've been home. I've been not 100% well, and sometimes very, very, very ill. And there was this night where we were talking. I think I had asked a favor or something, and Kevin's tone got a little agitated. I literally could not understand his words. It was like he was talking in another language. And I said, honey, I can't hear you. And he said it again. And I said, I can't process what you're saying. Can you talk to me nicely? And as soon as he did, I could hear what he was saying. And I was just like, oh, let this be true in our marriage, that we just like literally can't hear each other if we're not being loving and kind. And I've noticed that, if there's a place that rises up in me that's a little agitated or whatever, it's like my system, without effort, it's not like an intention I have. I mean, I have an intention to be loving and kind always to my beloved, but like I'm not like efforting, I'm like barely functioning sometimes, but it's like that just comes in and it's like, no, 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 no. There's something in me, just like this protective energy that's like, no, we're not doing that anymore. That's just a big no. And so that's one of the things I've noticed for myself, is just like this, it just can't happen. And if it starts to, I immediately, like something in me immediately comes in and sees it and stops it and takes total accountability for the old energies that are running, without judging myself. But, like, I can't remember what it was, somewhere, I think I got afraid that my needs wouldn't be met or weren't going to be met. And I found myself in this energy that had like a quality of shame to it, which is an energy I grew up with. And I just was like, oh my God, honey, I'm just like, I'm so sorry. Like I brought shame in there, like you're bad or wrong in some way and you're not. And, it's just like, it's something in my energy just won't stand for the non-resonance. It's like that innocence of my love will not stand for what is an old adaptation or a learned behavior from my family or my culture. It's like, just, it's not allowed. That makes me cry. It's really beautiful.
So as you're thinking about your own life and the changes that you've been experiencing, where have you felt that desire to bring your light, to step up, to do more? Like what has been happening in your life that, and it could be as simple as um I've been feeling the desire to, I don't know, smile more at strangers, or I don't know, it could be simple like that, or it could be revolutionary.
Mine has been more like a desire of letting old patterns go.
Mhm.
Like I tend to, at my job, if I notice that something's not being done right, or if they're making stupid decisions, or they're not leading, to kind of jump in there and like try to fix it, or try to make something better, or try to make these suggestions that'll make their business better. And it's not my business. I don't have a leadership role. And so
Mm.
when I got back, like I just found myself going, okay, they made that decision. It doesn't affect me. I don't need to worry about it. Okay, they decided to do that. That's totally fine. They get to do that. I'm not going to worry about it. And it's not like me just constantly telling myself to worry about it. I just honestly am not worrying about it. And it feels really good.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
Amazing. It's
Yeah.
like a genuine like let go.
Yeah.
Not even. Mhm. That's so cool. Not even having to convince yourself. It's like, no, it's done.
Mhm.
Yeah. And like even stuff that I'm like involved with, like he's redoing his logo and it's terrible. But whatever, it's his logo. Have a terrible logo. It's your business.
Surrender. Thank God.
I
That's
love
awesome.
this, like pulling your energy and your light back for where it's meant to be.
Yeah.
Like that's a leak and you're not leaking. And like,
Mm.
it feels so good.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mm. Who else?
I'm finding that I'm speaking what I know. So I'll have something intuitive come in and it's random. And usually I would just hold it and know it for myself. But I mean, I actually texted one of my coworkers the other day, random, like he popped into my head. His wife popped into my head. And I'm like, I think you might want to listen to this. I don't know. I know your child is not a non-speaker, but he's speaking and functioning. He's got a form of autism, and I sent him the podcast, and he was like, "Wow, this is great. Thank you. We'll listen to it." It was just random, and things like that keep popping, and I just keep sharing. And oh well, I don't know what you're gonna think, and I don't really care. I got the message. Maybe you want to hear it or not.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Your light and your wisdom having permission to be
Mm-hmm.
shared and heard. Oh my,
And
Mm-hmm.
well received too.
oh,
Mm-hmm.
it's so good in my upper heart, especially like as you're sharing that, I can really feel the like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
With no one having to volunteer you.
Yes.
Even here, look at you. You're like, well, I'm going to share second.
I
Right?
know.
Oh my gosh.
I know. Look at you. Mhm. It's awesome.
Ah,
Mhm.
I'm struggling with what I want to say, but I'll just start. Um, it- I I can't even express the shift that occurred in me upon leaving our circle and returning home and feeling it was like like I'd been through an energetic washing machine, and I came home all squeaky clean. And really, I mean, not only did I notice it in very incredible ways in my work, but where the rubber hit the road was coming home, and being with my husband and really speaking from my heart and speaking my truth, and not easy things, but not defensive, not projecting anything, and yeah, kind of just in with love, with just coming from a place of just open-hearted love, not only for him but also for myself, and showing up in a way that was saying, this is who I am and this is what I'm experiencing, and I know it's hard, and being able to hold him in his pain, and that's different. Today I have a house sitting gig that I sort of procured for myself, and I'm going to be in a little sanctuary for 3 weeks to a month, actually, on the water. I put out to the universe, I want a little cottage with clean energy, nice aesthetics, on the water with a great dog. And guess what I got?
Of course.
And guess who actually lives here, who I'm doing this trade with? She's a shaman who I didn't even know who lived here. So it was just like this. She put out, I need the right person to take care of my dog. I put out, I need a sanctuary place that's really the right place. And boom, like within a day, we found each other. So, now I have a new friend. So, there's just something very, very magical about what happened here. So I'm just feeling just so deeply grateful. And I guess the little bit of fear and apprehension is, how long can I hold this? How long can I hold this? Right. But that's where I am.
Yeah. I'm so glad you named that, because when we have big awakening, when we have big transformation, and when it's the kind of big that happened at the retreat, where it's going to take time for us to even feel into all of what has occurred, or to even be able to put language around it, as you were speaking to, Antonia, there does creep up this fear of like I've just landed in this beauty place, and what if it's lost, or what if it's temporary, or what if, or can I keep this consciousness? I want to keep this consciousness. I don't want to lose it. It's normal for that to come up. Thank you for naming it. Yeah.
And the transformations sometimes are not pleasant. It's like uncomfortable, but
Yeah.
it's such a beautiful space to be when it's authentic. You're living from this authenticity, from your light, from your truth. You're not masking, you're not pretending. It's like I'm squeaky clean, like you say, and I'm operating from that space, even if it's like, ouch. Awesome.
Yeah.
Sandy.
Oh, my hands are sweating right now. I feel, well, I've shared a lot. Thank goodness we have that chat, because I've shared a lot of what's been ongoing. But to like summarize it in like what I feel has happened, like the main themes. Um, I feel like even though I got sick afterwards, I'm still like way better than I was before I went. And I feel like I just woke up. Like I just woke up. And um I feel like this surge of energy because before it was just like I'm exhausted, I'm exhausted, I'm exhausted. Like I can't even get to bed fast enough. Um and so you can imagine that for like 2+ years. And so like today I came home from work and I was like, it's like this surge of energy. And that's why I think I feel it here because it just like move, like this, like, and I have that tendency of either being like way at the bottom or like just going hiking and gym and I just like, I'm alive. So right now I'm kind of trying to manage it so I don't burn myself out. And so I was like, oh my God, I want to do this and I want to do that. And I was like, breathe, just take a bath. And it was so beautiful to just be able to have the energy to take a bath out of pleasure and not out of, I need to wash my hair and I need to brush it because it's been 4 days, like, since I brushed my hair. Like, so I'm trying to ease into it, but at the same time, it's like this huge surge of energy that's like, you haven't done anything for 2.5 years, and bills and this and that, and you gotta live. And it's like, calm down. Um, and also like just kind of like I'm witnessing myself when I walk or when I get dressed. And it's like almost like I have a different bodysuit. And I think I spoke to you guys about like hiding all the time, hiding. I don't want men to see me. I don't want to be seen. Just want to lay low. And before I was like, okay, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna wear this and okay, okay, I can get in this space for like 4 hours. But now I feel like I don't know, like I'm walking in a different body almost. Like it's a different body. Like I look at like today I was looking at my legs sitting and it was just like they look longer and it looked my body looks different. It's almost like I shed something and I like I was able to grow into this new space because it was just like contracted. So I kind of feel like it's still contracted because this energy just wants to like, you know? So it's kind of like managing it, but I'm feeling like, okay, yeah, this clothes, they're kind of tight, but it's normal. It's okay. And, it's fine. And people can see me. It's so more comfortable with that. Um, and there's more like a lot since the retreats, just a lot of dreams with like nature and mountains and nature and mountains and mountains and mountains and grass. And so, yeah, just this surge of energy coming, like just wants to come out.
I can really feel this center and what it's trying to do to modulate. This, what you're describing is like, how do I modulate between the states where I'm like really in the refueling and then when I have the fuel and like there is a tendency, especially if we tend to be someone who has a somatic relationship with life, there can be a tendency that when we get energy, we just like explode it. And so really loving the wisdom of your system, going just like, okay, breathe, listen, right? It's that listening, that sacred listening that will help the modulation. And part of what we're to get used to as women is like holding the fullness of our energy and desire and not giving it away. We have such a tendency, and you were speaking to this too in a different way, Lacey, when like when our energy builds and when we have this creative force, we are so trained that that belongs to someone else and we are to give it away. So learning how to be with that full energy and that aliveness and the womb, full of juice and the heart full of juice. And not to say that we're withholding, but that we allow it for ourselves, that we nourish in that for ourselves, that we receive it for ourselves before we have to like flood it out everywhere else. So this modulation at the throat, which maps a modulation at the yoni, it's like how do we like let that energy nourish us first
Mhm.
and not hold back the creative desire, but listen for the true divine unfolding and impulse versus the cultural habit, like I have energy, I have to give it away.
Mhm.
I can also, if I may add, see sometimes similar to what Antonia was saying, this fear of like, is this going to go away?
Mhm.
Maybe I should hold on to it and because I don't want it to go away and just explode and be gone. Um, and part of that is trusting that this energy is not ours to keep or to make. It's this energy that is flowing through us. Um, like a few hours ago, Luminaria was in bed. Like she was just like, I don't know, I'm so tired, I'm so sick. And this energy that she has now is an energy that is coming from source, is coming from the soul field. And so knowing that we can't hoard that energy, we need to allow it to flow. But like you were saying, Luminaria, not in an explosive way that will wreck our nervous system, but
Mhm.
in a way that is supportive of us. And knowing that there's more, and we have this amazing group that supports us, that we'll continue gathering, and we'll continue supporting each other, so we can remember. This is all about remembering, you know.
Thank you.
Mm.
Does anybody need a quick bio break? And then we can hear from Jade and Bree if that, would we like that? Just a quick little restroom break. Okay, let's
Yeah,
take
let's do that.
like 2 minutes. We're not really going away. We're just like quick, fill your water, empty your tank, fill your tank. We'll be right back. Mm.
Mm.
You know, Antonia, I did I travel a whole year throughout the United States doing what you're doing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I stayed at places sometimes 3 months,
Uh-huh.
um, in different in Oregon, Wyoming, Florida, Denver, like so many beautiful
San Francisco.
places. Yeah, San Francisco, that's
Got
right.
to
We
spend
met
New
at
Year's together.
Petaluma. Yeah. And it was so much fun. It was great. I really got to know people. I mean, they're still texting me and like you say, we form friendships, but it's also like an opportunity to like let me find myself. Let me see
Yeah,
without
yeah,
I had none of my things, nothing, like it was just me. So, let's see. What do I have to
yeah,
look at? So,
yeah.
it's great.
It's a great opportunity. I mean, I'm in my own, my own community here, but um, I needed to stay close to my work and my life, but still get space. And so it's really good.
I love that. It's a
Yeah.
really good idea, actually. And you're helping
Women,
someone, they're helping you.
Yeah.
Yes. Mhm.
as women, we need time to saturate in feminine energy and in an energy field that's our own, and also with other women that don't have demand on us. And
Mhm.
it's part of why this kind of group is so powerful. And it's part of why, like, doing what you're doing, Antonia, is so powerful. We need that kind of like solo being with our own energy, because the nature of woman, we are so attuned to our environment and to everything that everybody needs. It's like we're so trained into that, both because of it's like literally in our DNA, but also it's in our training. And so having that space where no one needs something from us is so important and critical. Yeah, I'm grateful that you're doing that for yourself,
And
especially
there's
juncture.
unconditional love from an animal that is just
Mhm.
the most precious thing. Mhm.
And so
Oh,
Michelle's joining
Michelle.
us, and we're in
Hi,
the middle of
Marie.
check-ins, Michelle. And so when you're ready, you can. And I'll repost these questions in the chat. We're sort of like letting these two questions guide a little bit the check-in. And maybe Bree, maybe Jade.
Okay. Um, hmm, for me, after the retreat, I had different challenges in my life, in all areas, in all my relationships, my husband, my daughter, at work. Um, I was sick. Not only, all the symptoms that I have, but I actually got sick with the flu. So I was overwhelmed. And, I feel like I did pretty good the first couple days, meditating 3 times a day. But after that, I was just struggling. Um, and then, but at the same time, it was an opportunity for me to look deeper inside, what I was feeling. And I was able to, communicate better with my husband, um, and, work too. And then with my daughter, just again, awareness. Um, and I don't know, I see things differently now.
Mm.
Um, feel better than when I went to the retreat physically, emotionally. So even though I had all those struggles, I feel like it helped me because I had the tools, from the retreat. And then of course Nancy's my my spiritual coach. So she was there too to help get me, provide me with extra support. So I feel better. I feel better, a lot better. And yeah, I don't have words to describe it. Just I even myself, I feel like I have more confidence in myself, more trust in myself. Um I I even started planning with Sandy a little, personal project, goals for this year, just things that I'm passionate about. And I just I feel so good about it. Like I don't know where this is gonna take me, but I'm just gonna take the first step, and it just feels right. So it just yeah, I don't know, I feel really good.
I read somewhere something that said, if you're going through hell, keep going.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'll get to the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. That's awesome. It changes you, but first the body has to be like, ooh, what is this thing? I don't know. And it has to
Yeah.
adjust to this new vibration, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
sometimes when we have the sort of pump primed, so to speak, the body will release. And
Mhm.
certainly I've been in the midst of that. Um, the pump was primed and the body was tuned to the field, and it was like, okay. And sometimes there's great purpose to that we can understand in the moment and know. And sometimes we're just like, well, I'm glad that was done. Here I am now. I feel better, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hi, Michelle.
Mhm.
Hi.
And we held you
Mhm.
with us in meditation, and Saraha and Karen too.
Mhm. Michelle, you're just arriving from the trip. It's
Wow.
incredible. Mhm. Mhm.
Are you trying to unmute? There
Okay, I see. Yeah.
Mhm.
Hi. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Yes, I'm arriving and it feels like lifetimes.
The longest trip ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. You're still in the glow of it. Mhm.
Did you post questions or are you
Yeah, they're
asking
in the
questions?
chat.
Oh, okay.
Where have you felt the calling or desire to bring yourself or your light more forward or forward more? And or where has fear shown up?
Hmm.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, yeah, I guess I just feel like like on the precipice of a whole life shift as we've solidified our decision to move. So we're officially moving to San Diego. Yeah. And some things have fallen into place with our friend's place actually, the ones we were staying with. Um and they may be traveling for multiple months, and so we may just go to their house, stay there, and get situated, and then look for where where we're going to land. So it's kind of one of those like, oh, it's just, and here you go, without a lot of effort. So that has felt nice. Not totally sure, we're going to see if that's truly going to work out financially and everything, but yeah. So if I feel still in this like all this stuff occurred. There's all this there's like a dust storm and a rainfall and a waterfall and the air's alive and the weather's crazy all behind me. And then in front is like, it's like I'm on the edge of the cliff and I haven't stepped into the not like to the air, basically stepped into the air is what it feels like. Not like ungrounded, like, oh, there's no ground, but truly just like stepping off. And so I feel like I'm on that edge and I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know. And I feel settled in it. It doesn't feel unsettled. Um, so just kind of feels like a big expanse. Um, yeah. And even though I've processed a bunch through the past while since the retreat, I don't even remember what I processed. I don't even, I'm just like, I have no idea. A lot of things happened. Like, pretty sure a lot happened, but I don't know what. And so I'm looking forward. I'm actually only going to be home for about 10 days, maybe 9 days, and then I have another trip. So I'm looking forward to this next week or so to just kind of sink in and um, mm, allow the like clarity to come in from all that weather and the stuff that's behind me that I was referring to. Like it's like, okay, I'm home, and then I want like the pieces to come and, oh yeah, there's that, and oh, then there's that, oh that's right, that and that, um and anchor them over the next week. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Awesome. Mm.
When you get a chance, the meditation from the beginning, which starts
Mm-hmm.
10 or maybe a little bit more than 10 minutes in, and goes for about 20 minutes, I think will really help you
Okay.
like make that transition and bring in the support that will facilitate that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do that tomorrow morning.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You're a changed person, Michelle. I can see it. Mm. So cool. And we'll continue supporting you, support each other
Mm.
in everything, every transition, every step of the way. We're supporting each other here.
Mm.
So cool. And how magical it is that we have such group. We're so lucky. Where's my wood? Well,
How about you, Bree? Do you feel ready to put your voice in the space? Let's see, you're mute.
Oops, there we go. Can you hear me now? Okay. Um, so, yeah, the first 2 weeks felt really incredibly powerful. I felt so plugged in and, just this feeling of like landing on my path in such a profound way, like such a sense of remembering that happened for me. And I mean, remembering diary entries from when I was 18 and when I was like writing about circles when I was in healing. And it was like it was like the spherical consciousness that I was reaching for that I didn't even know was God as consciousness, but was like intuitive to my ancient bones and my knowing. And so the first couple of weeks were just really profound, even though I started a protocol and the protocol was difficult. It was really powerful. And then I made an adjustment to the protocol because the side effects were too extreme for me. And then I've just become what feels like increasingly unplugged. And so I just feel like a little shy that I have a really different report. Like I actually am feeling today was the lowest day I've had in a really long time, probably since before the retreat. And I had a dream last night that my perpetrator from when I was a child was someone who would be an unfathomable person for me to imagine it having been. And I don't know if that was real or just chemicals. It's difficult for my partner when I'm not well. And I'm finding the energy of the house very directional. Work energy is here. And so I'm finding that I'm not able to just be in that energy that you mentioned, like be able to just drop into my own energy because I'm in another energy system that feels like it feels overpowering, I guess. But I really like took in what you said in the soul field experience on Sunday yesterday about trusting in the divine perfection of this moment. And I've been like really surrendering to this is okay, and this is just what needs to happen right now. And I'm so blessed that this can happen right now. I have a partner who can keep a roof over my head while I go through this. And I also have a tour coming up, leaving on March 1st. So there's also this like little nagging thing that's like, yeah, but like you better heal in the next 2 weeks because you got 2 weeks before you're gonna be out there again. And so I think I'm just feeling I just feel like the protocol I went on, it was like helpful almost in a way, like I almost think, even though it was really hard, I felt like it was like almost, I was like in the consciousness. And then as soon as I went off of it, things felt like they tumbled. But I think it's like I'm just trying to find out what the balance is in terms of the physical, in terms of like what to treat and who to trust around what gets treated, because the different practitioners are making really different suggestions. And and so I think I'm lost. I have so many different diagnoses. I have different kinds of appointments every day right now. And it's just a very new experience for me. Like I've always had like chronic health issues, but I developed another one 2 years ago to kind of add to this one that I've had since 2008. And then this third one, I'm like, I'm just settling in. I'm like, it's okay. My acupuncturist reminded me today it takes 3 months for the cells to rejuvenate, and it can happen faster, but it's okay that it's taking time. So I'm trying to just give myself that sacred permission. But it's tough with my partner being triggered, and it's just been and lots of things.
I so appreciate your sharing exactly where you are. And, this experience where health things can really impact our capacity to feel connected and to sense our way into. And I'm just curious, how did it feel meditating together today for you? Did it feel like you could plug in the meditation with the support? No, you couldn't feel it. Okay.
No, I was sitting up. Like I was sitting upright in a chair because I thought that was, maybe be a good way to do it. But I was like, when you're talking about and talking us through and you're feeling this, and I was like, no, I'm not feeling this. Like I wasn't able to get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So know that it is here, even if it's not in your lived experience. Like know that that sacred support is here and
Mhm.
it's with you. And this is for all of us. Like life will bring moments where we can't feel ourselves and our own frequency and our own sacred connection as readily. And this is where, like, this sacred circle, we're holding you. We're holding you and we're tracking you in that awareness. And I can tell you, like, this morning you came to me and I see something and we'll talk, like something that your body is needing.
Mm.
But we are holding one another, like not because we're actively going like, okay, I'm holding Sandy, okay, I'm holding Jade, okay, I'm holding Lacey, okay, I'm holding Antonia, okay, I'm holding Karen, okay, I'm holding, it's not like that. It's that we are woven together in our sacred evolution, and you're not alone. You're not alone. And it's so important for us to know that you're there. Because when we know that you're there, then we send our hearts. It's already happening. Everyone's here already doing that. We send our heart light and our love light there. And we're like, we've got you. We remember for you. We know who you are, even in the midst of this, right? This is who we are for one another. We are sacred upholders. We are sacred reminders. So I want to invite you to just take a minute and feel it. Just feel that we are holding you. We remember, we know the beauty of your light and who you are. We also
Oh,
know
girl,
divinely perfect.
we know your little girl too.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We know her. We remember her.
Unstoppable.
Unstoppable.
Yeah.
Mm.
We know you. All of you.
Mhm. We get to be right where we are. I want to encourage you, like, to reach out on the chat thread and just say, please hold me, sisters. Here's where I am. Modeled that for all of you in the midst of what was going on for me. And I want you to all register that, like we're here for one another. We've woven our souls together on this journey of our awakening. Makes me cry. And it's okay if one of us forget, because somewhere between the 11 of us, someone's going to remember. We have a little energetic that we want to impart that was really coming through as we were tuning in today. There was a lot of physical symptoms. Um, Nancy and I got on the phone. I was in bed and she was just asking me a couple questions. And like, I was like, I'm getting sick to my stomach. I don't know what's happening, but like, and she's like, I'm sick to my stomach. And we're like, oh, okay. There's something here in the field that really wants to be named. And I'm going to shift for a moment off of gallery view and just put it on speaker view just for now, so that the focus for a moment is on Nancy and I and what we're sharing. We ended the retreat, our last session, we were talking about the balance between the masculine and the feminine. And what is it to, sort of like be in the receptivity of our divinity and the remembrance in that spherical consciousness that you were speaking about, Bree. And then also move in a directional way. And when we ask the question from our egoic perspective, like, am I enough? Can I do it? Whatever the it is. From that place, the answer is like, not really. You're not really enough. No, you can't really do it. Because we aren't the doer. And this is where culturally we have a distortion in the masculine, that we think we're the doer. I have to do it. We have to do it. Really, the invitation is to allow the grace of our highest self, that aspect of our divinity, of our light body, to be the doer, to move through us. We are like the receiver that allows the doer to move through, but we're not the doer.
And as we're imagining ourselves embracing this energy that we connected with during the retreat, we are shifting. We're shifting from the perspective of I have to be XYZ. I have to feel this, or I have to create this. When we focus on the I have to do it, that's when fear comes in, because we're limited. We're very limited. But when we can trust and relax into the knowing that something higher, bigger, whatever grace is in charge, then we don't have to move through the world from, sometimes it's categorized as feminine and masculine aspect, sometimes we say that feminine aspect is the surrender, the spiritual, and the masculine is the doer and is the hustler. And if we can imagine or remember, honestly, that we are not the doers, that we don't even have to go into the masculine, that something bigger than us moves us and creates for us, then we can remember that anything we want can be created. Like Antonia was saying earlier, she wanted this and she had this specific things, boom, it happened. Sandy, everybody was talking about how they're really surrendering into not having to do. And it's not easy because we're so acculturated. We're so trained in having to be the ones that do, that deal with things.
You can kind of know if you're in that place, because that's where doubt comes in. That's where fear and worry comes in. When we're in the allowing of the grace that we are, in the allowing of the highest wisdom that is available to us, we feel more than enough. And it's different kind of more than enough. It's like Michelle was describing, feeling like on the edge and like jumping off into the air, and like it's not a bad thing, right? That's kind of how it is when we're in that space of allowing spirit to move through us. It's not, we don't know where we're going, but there's a sense of the presence, the connection that's with us. And in the experience of feeling that, that's when we can really enter into creation, like true creation, when we're in that place. And sometimes we feel it with more ease than others. Like right now, I'm on some antibiotics. I feel a little funky. I don't quite feel like I have like, oh, my full manifestor online. And yet, as Nancy is speaking, as soon as she and I, two or more gather, we call in soul. And then, wow, this thing just moves through. And sometimes there's a calling for that. And sometimes I'm meant to be sleeping in bed. And if you're meant to be sleeping in bed, it's okay. It's the right place to be. And when the time is right, the energy will move through you and it will create what's next. We don't have to manage that or worry about that. You know?
Mm-hmm. And the truth is that we'll probably always feel not enough, you know, and it's okay, because I mean, compared to grace, compared to the divine, geez, you know, I'm just this minuscule little thing, and okay, it's cool. I'm not enough. Give it to me. Whatever else I need, whatever else I'm lacking, give it to me, and it's okay.
Yeah,
it's okay. I don't have to struggle, work so hard. Fine. I surrender.
yeah.
I release.
Jesus said, like, if we have the faith, even the size of a mustard seed, which by the way is pretty tiny, we have the faith of a mustard seed, we can move the mountain. Makes me cry. So in those times when we don't know, that's when we're called to faith. And what is challenging is that we have been programmed with a lot of false holograms. For those of you who listened to the recording that I put out, like, this is part of what the reworking was, to rework those holographic storylines that have lived in us. We've been programmed with some serious, like, doom and gloom, and it's like way in the background. You know, we've been programmed with the idea that there's this God, and this God is like, you know, if we screw up, we're going to burn in the fires of hell forever. And like, it's so nonsensical for anybody who's ever touched the divine. You know, if you've touched the divine, that the divine is never, would never, could never even have the idea to do anything like that. That's totally a false human projection, but it's programmed in there. And those false holograms, they sometimes run the show. And that's part of what that geometry was that we were putting in there to work with, to like deal with that gripping fear that like horrible bad things are going to happen. And then you see something in the outer world and it triggers that thing back there. It's like, oh yeah, see, horrible bad things are happening. And it gets us. And it takes us out of our spiritual center. And it takes us out of remembering who we really are. And we get so focused on that projection of some distorted consciousness that we lose our power to create.
Mm-hmm. And it's not easy when you come from the retreat and you're feeling like, oh my gosh, you're glowing, you're magnificent, you're tuned in, and then you go into life and your body's not cooperating, or society's not cooperating, or the people around us are not cooperating. They're not matching that energy. It's really, really hard. It's like a shock to our system. Um, it's easy to say, yeah, you know, tap in, go ahead. Um, the it's beautiful if we have a whole team supporting us, if we have a group like this, if we can connect with each other, if we can relax into a space that is supportive. It's a lot harder when it's just you holding the energy, holding everybody else's energy plus your body, and all of that is not as easy. And at the same time, is that also a false hologram? Is that also a belief that we have that is hard? Is that maybe something we need to shift in there that says, I'm alone. And so it's important to listen, right, to our bodies and attend it and love it and give it what it needs. And it's also important to attend to our thoughts and the fears and the belief systems that we have created. Um, because we are so acculturated that sometimes we're not seeing that. Sometimes we're not seeing how our life is projecting that acculturation. And for us to stay in this momentum, we have to create it. It just, yes, it could come for sure. That's definitely a belief system that I want to acquire. It can come easily and effortlessly, but I know that my mind is limited and I'm going to go search it. I'm going to go look for it. Um, and one of those is of course, this group.
Yeah. We have a gift, right? So we all came together this retreat not knowing exactly what was going to happen. And what we realized is that we have a synergy amongst these souls. And certainly there's what the soul field and the energy wants to bring, but there's something about this container that's very special. And Nancy and I feel called to invite you to invite us, not just you, us, to sort of stay in an ongoing container together so that this isn't our last touch point in this particular group, that we have touch points. And what feels aligned is every 2 months for about 2 hours. And so we would be looking at meeting in March, May, July, September, November, and January this way via Zoom, and probably with a, somewhat similar format in the sense of like there's like, what's the next activation? What's the next mystery that we're going in together? It's like we were able to go so deep and touch that. So how do we keep doing that and keep bringing that online? That will be certainly a big part of the focus. How do we deepen the mystery of the synergy between us and how we grow and expand because of one another, right? This is
Yeah.
really a part of what we all got to experience. Did you want to speak to that?
Yeah, I was gonna say that when Michelle moves to San Diego, maybe, Sandy, Kristen, Michelle, and whoever wants to come to San Diego, we can meet every 2 months and in person and have it all together here. Have a little reunion every 2 months.
Yeah, it's this energy of coming together and the remembrance that occurs and also the continued momentum, right? So we have this big wave and then we're integrating it and we're also continuing to bring the next and the next and the next. So it's like, how do we have that momentum? And so we're going to offer this. It's just for all of you. Ideally, all of you would say yes and be a part of it so that we have this like extraordinary container that we've created. We're going to email you the details. We're working to make it accessible, financially accessible, and also time-wise accessible. So once we get the yeses, which hopefully will be all of you, but once we get the yeses, we'll look at the calendars together. We're looking about the second week of each month, trying to map that. So that would be
Every
about
second month.
now, every second month, the second week. So that would be March, May, July, September, January. Yeah. And to create a time where everyone where that works for everyone. So this window may not be the right time for everyone. It could be a weekend, it could be a weekday. We'll just kind of go look at the calendars and go, what can work for people? And Nancy and I will pick the time that works best. We want to make it accessible, basically. So that's our intention. We'll email you details about all of that and get your yeses, and then we'll look at the calendars together.
What we want to create is like we were saying, like a soul accountability, right? Um, we a lot of retreats that you attend, they're life changing, they're amazing, and you get, just like wow, blown away, and then what happens? It's gone, right? And so we want to maintain the energy and we want to support you in maintaining the energy. And so if you have a certain goal that you want to have support on, we'll support you. Or if you want to just stay connected and tuned in into the energy, we'll support that. Or if you just want to hang out, and be with this amazing group of women that you can't find anywhere in the world, yes, let's do that. And
Yeah.
so Luminar and I are willing to meet beyond the retreat time, and schedule the time and put it together and continue working together to support the transformation. It's not just a one time see you later, is a supportive transformation for all of you, for all of us, because I think we all benefit. Everything that you work on is benefiting all of us. So we want to create that for us. And we think that every 2 months is a good cadence. A lot of you have already support between either Luminaria or me. Um, but that doesn't mean that you stop chatting in the group chat. Please stay and stay connected. This is more of a container
Yeah.
for like a mini tiny retreat, 2 hour retreat every 2 months.
If Nancy and I are really honest, like when we ask the question, what do we really, really want? We really want to take you all really deep. Like that was what the retreat was about. And it's like we're not done. There's more, but wait, there's more.
But
And
wait.
and so while we love and are thrilled to offer the soul field experience, that's a bit more surface, and we want to just like let's go there. Like we're ready, let's go really deep, let's go really wide, let's let our lives just sparkle with our divinity so much across the board. And as Nancy said, like if there's projects we're working on, like I can envision, and I actually did vision this, I want to speak to this, like Bree, you talked about waiting to send your book out till after the retreat, and I feel like wait to send your book out till we're all praying over your book. Like this is the kind of thing, like let's put our energy together for what each woman's soul wants to bring forward, for what each woman's soul is up to right now. And it can be a little thing. It can be like, I want to like always be loving in my way that I speak to my husband, which is not a little thing, by the way, but or it can be like, I'm putting out this book that's like a tome that's going to change the world, right? And anything and everything in between. Like, let's be behind each other. Let's be for each other. Let's do that work of like, okay, we are 100% in and we're 100% going wherever we're going, and we're illuminating each other's paths, whatever that looks like.
Yes. And you'll get Luminaria and I's knowledge and wisdom and intuition, at your disposal. So take advantage of that, because this is incredible. Yeah. It's
So I'm going to
beautiful.
shift us off of this. I'm going to go back to gallery view. We just have a few minutes, just wanting to hear like about this or anything, like what wants to be named. I did mute you all while Nancy and I were sort of talking, so just go ahead and I can unmute you all if you want, or you could just unmute if you want to speak.
I want to say something. I don't know if you guys noticed, but like my camera has been really like zooming in and out and moving.
Mm-hmm.
And I this pressure that I had in my it was like moving, like it was like I could feel it moving, and it was moving the camera. Like
Whoa.
I was like, why? I'm like really super still. And I know that like if you move, it like captures it, right? But I was like,
your energy.
But I was feeling it, and I was like feeling it expanding and contracting and moving, because I was feeling like this. And then it was just like, and I just felt so much love.
Oh.
like so much love. I just started crying when you guys were like talking, and I was like, oh my God. Because what was moving was like this pure love.
Mm.
Thank you. Like I feel all of you. And I don't know, but seriously, my camera's like been like really moving, but it matched the movement here.
Wow.
Mhm.
Oh.
And now it feels like, I mean, it's not completely constricted, but it feels like so much love.
Mm.
And thank you so much,
Mm.
everybody.
Mhm.
We
Whew.
receive it. We receive your love.
Oof.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You
So
Thank
much.
you.
have so much good love to give. We receive it. Mm. So cool.
What else? Anything else want to be named in the last few minutes? Anything else coming to the surface, bubbling up to be spoken or shared? Yeah.
Well, I just like to say I love the idea of all of us, kind of cheerleading each other. And I mean, good goddess, imagine what we could do.
Yes, exactly. That's right.
So,
That's it.
yeah.
That's it. Let's imagine what we can do together. Let's dream our lives and our world anew together. That's it. That's exactly it. Yeah.
I love that. Michelle.
I have I'm remembering at the thing that Luminari and I went to after our Soul Sister retreat. Remembering something from that time and noticing that carrying through since then of what is it like, so at that other retreat, I was still just in this kind of non 3D, exchange. And it was a much more 3D oriented sort of thing, even though it was also bigger than that. And what I was getting was I don't need to be tracking everything that's being said and taking notes and writing down and, to receive. And I'm realizing that's just continuing to be with me, because I get overwhelmed with texts and emails in particular, and so I'm not as active on the text chain as others, and sometimes I takes me days. Like, thank God I saw Kristen and told me about what we were doing for Yulu at 8 because I hadn't read my text in days, and so. But I'm just kind of, and I often that often stresses me out more that I'm not on top of them. And so I'm kind of just wanting to remember that other piece, which is I'm still receiving, like I'm still with you all. You're with me. I'm still in the thing, in the flow, in the spirit, and I don't need to. I guess it's that what you were just saying. You don't need to be doing all like the things that it specifically looks like on this particular realm in this planet, and even tonight coming from when we got home, I was like, I gotta get on the call. I've gotta get on the call, just and then just saying like it's it's okay. I can just let me just do what I need to do, and then I'll be on the call, like, and then I can really be on the call. And and so there's something about that theme that just continues to show for me. It's like
Beautiful.
the reception happens, it's always happening, right? It's always happening. Um, just not to look like the like instructions that seem to be given to us on this in this realm.
This is actually part of the magic of this, right?
Mm.
Bree had such a lived experience at the retreat where she was like, I have to go lay down and rest. I'm going to leave the ritual. And you weren't like in the ritual on the one hand, as you like maybe 3D, put in quotes, should have been, but you were so in the ritual. And so sometimes it's like this place where like we just say yes. We just say, yes, I'm for that. Yes, I'm with you. Yes, we're together, sisters. And in that etheric realm, we are 100% weaving. We are 100% lifting one another up. And that's part of saying yes to an ongoing container. It's like, yeah, we're going to keep doing that. And it may look like, somebody may be someone who likes to chat or send a video or whatever, and someone may not be. It doesn't mean we're not weaving together. It's beautiful.
And Michelle, you arrived at the perfect time too. I was like trying to pay attention, like, oh, is she gonna arrive in the middle of the meditation? Da, da, da. I just want to make sure like I could see you. And you arrived at the perfect time.
Just came back from bio break. Like literally everyone popped on and then you came.
It was great. And it's so beautiful that you are allowing yourself to be guided, because the truth is that all of those details are handled. I mean, so many times I am moving around and I just turn to like, oh, my water bottle. And then I remember, oh, I'm supposed to take that. If I wouldn't have moved to my water bottle, this would have been forgotten. I am so taken care of. Like, I don't need to remember anything. Everything is there. All I have to do is like, okay, follow, follow, follow this way. And it just so happens for us. So happens. The time that I have to leave, the time I have to wake up, everything is just, we are cared for. We are taken care of. And we're here for each other too. Like, Kristen reminding you or anything like that. We got you. We got each other. Yeah.
Any requests in this space?
Mhm.
Here we are together. Do you have a request? Speak it if you'd like. I have requests for each of you. Like I want to ask that everyone uphold Antonia in this sacred time that she's doing. So just like name it. What do you want? Come on. Come on. What do you want? Speak it. Speak it. How can we hold you? How can we uphold you?
Hold me and Kevin as we move on to our next place, our next land as we settle into our new land.
Yes. And so it is.
What else? I feel like I'm going to speak your desires for you. They're like bursting out my body. Come on, speak them. You speak them. It's more powerful when you speak them.
Support for healing.
Yeah.
Send me healing your way.
Yeah. Vibrancy. Vibrancy. Bree is in her vibrancy. Come on, I can feel it. I'm gonna explode. Somebody speak it.
I'll go. I want to move forward with my designs and flow through with balance and flow with more abundance. I don't know where it's going to come from, but I just want to surrender into that. I will not just survive, that I will be in abundance.
Yeah, so it is. Yes.
Who's next? I knew it was you, Kristen. I could feel you popping. She's popping.
Okay.
Oops, did I undo you?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, can you hear me? Okay, so I keep hearing, I'm feeling this for all of us. So thank you for allowing me, us, we, to be the receiver of your ease and grace. Ease and grace. Just,
And grace.
yes.
We are the receivers of ease and grace. You are the
Receivers.
receivers of ease and grace.
Mhm.
Ah, breathing that in. Oh my
Ease and grace.
goodness.
Mhm.
Yeah, if I feel you popping, Lacey. She's popping.
Well, like I didn't know what to say because I don't know, but then I kept getting creativity and connection. Like to find something that's a nice creative outlet. And then also like I crave connection, but I also crave my own space and to meet more people that understand and accept that will spend time with me when I'm available and understand when I don't want to be, but that I still love them.
Mhm. Mhm.
That
Creativity and
makes my
connection.
heart want to stretch open, like I need to lay on a bolster.
Mhm. Creativity and connection.
What else? There's a couple more that need to pop.
Daddy or Antonia. Mhm.
Okay.
Good.
Yes. Your support while I'm on my little sanctuary retreat here, but also that support in I need being the term meaning right relationship with specifically, you know, what I'm struggling with these two loves in my life and how to be in loving presence in the right way and clarity and courage.
Wow. Courage, love.
Clarity, courage. Yeah.
Mhm.
Sacred time.
Mhm. Mhm.
All right, what's in that desire, Jade? I can feel it.
um I'm looking for support for my physical body to continue to find health and also for I'm looking for a change on what I do for a living, for something that is more aligned with my passion and with my purpose. Yeah.
So it is. Mhm.
So these desires are heard, they're known. We hear each other's desires, we know them, and we lift them up into the holy realms. We let them spiral out. We understand that our desires are not just for us, as Kristen spoke, they're for all of us. And we allow those blessings to come to all of us: creativity, connection, right relationship, health, right work, abundance, ease, health, vibrancy, new landing places. This is for all of us. Thank you for your sacred time, the gift of your presence, the gift of your beauty here together. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
taking space.
We love you
We love you so much.
deeply.
Yeah. Thank you. It was nice seeing you all.
Good to see
Love
you.
you. Love
Group
you.
hug.
Group hug. Group hug.
Group hug. Group hug. See you guys soon.
See you soon. Dreams.
Bye.
Bye.